Alright, before the video starts, I just want to give a big thanks to CBS.com for letting me research and compare my thoughts to theirs. Also, none of the picks that I made today were affected by the CBS Sports. I had them picked before time. Alright, so I'm gonna start off with the awards. Awards. Alright, and I'm not like stealing any of these predictions. I'm just using it to give a reminder of all the players and just see what other people have to say. Nothing of this is gonna be like dependent on my prediction, just to let you know. Alright. First off, MVP. Now, we know that this is a quarterback's award, obviously. So, of course, Aaron Rodgers is there, which I have the least hope for him winning this award. I don't think he's going to do terrible, but I think he'll do not top 7 in MVP race, of course, but very close to it, I'm sure. All right. Then Josh Allen. Now he's probably definitely in my top 3. I would say it would have to be like Patrick Mahomes, and then tie with Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. I just feel like Josh Allen has a lot better game on passing and running compared to Joe Burrow. And then there's also Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert. I feel like we could have a great year for Justin Herbert. And I hope so because he's on my fantasy team. So, you always want him there. Jalen Hurts is there too. You know, that's always a possibility. But if I have to say one, I'm gonna say Joe Burrow. I think Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, I think they're all going to go off this season and he's going to have a great year. So my MVP prediction is Joe Burrow. Very bold though. I just don't know. OPOY, or Offensive Player of the Year, is all over the place. Um, Tua, I don't know. I don't know about Tua. Chris Olave, that's bold. I could see it eventually, but not in his second year. I'm gonna be honest. Travis Kelce. Um, Lamar Jackson. You see, I don't ever think that a quarterback is gonna win OPOY, especially this year. Um, Derrick Henry. See, he's getting a lot older, so you just don't know about that either. Joe Burrow. Well, definitely not if he wins MVP. Um, Garrett Wilson, maybe. The see thing about this is Aaron Rodgers is so like connected with Allen Lazard and Randall Cobb that I don't think that Garrett Wilson is gonna get as much targets as he should because he's amazing. He was the offensive rookie of the year last year. Then we move up to Aaron Rodgers, not a chance. If anything, if Aaron Rodgers wins anything, it's going to be MVP, which I don't think will deserve this year. Jalen Hurts, You see, maybe because he's running, he's passing, he's doing everything on the field that he can, and it got him to a Super Bowl last year. So maybe Justin Fields. I'm a Bears fan, obviously. I mean, so I would love it. I would love him to win an award. The only way I see him doing this is if he completely changes the passing game this year. Because he has DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, and what's his name? Chase Claypool. That new guy, Tyler Scott, Velus Jones, Equinemius St. Brown. Even if like 2 of the 3 guys get injured for a while, he's still got some nice backups to keep him up. So if he can change that passing game like he should, maybe. Tyreek Hill at 4, I could see it. I could see it. If Tua stays healthy, that's the thing with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle this season, especially in fantasy, is that you just gotta hope Tua stays healthy and is better and has been doing his protocols and all that kind of stuff. Justin Jefferson, I could see it. I really could. Honestly, I kind of hope so because he's on my fantasy team, #1 overall. Got that. So I hope. Ja'Marr Chase. You see, I'm seeing a lot of love for Ja'Marr Chase, and he's not bad. I don't have anything against him, but but I don't know. I don't know much about him besides he's evolving a lot, and we can only hope that he gets better. And then #1, they are saying Christian McCaffrey. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they could because Brock Purdy, he could be a one-hit wonder or he could be their franchise quarterback. We just don't know at this point. We just don't know. But I'm going to take my safest option. Okay. So I'm just going to take the safest option here and I'm going to say Justin Jefferson will win Offensive Player of the Year, or as most call it, OPOY. That's my vote. That's my safest thing. And I just feel like it could be him. Now, Defensive Player of the Year. This one's kind of wide open. They're saying Pat Surtain, Roquan Smith, Sauce Gardner tied at 5. Man. So you don't really see, you haven't seen middle linebackers win in a while. It's Stephon Gilmore. Yeah, it was him, and then of course T.J. Watt. I think won it 1 year, right? I think so. Myles Garrett, I think won it, and then Nick Bosa last year, I think, and then the year before that, Aaron Donald probably. Those are like the last few. Nick Bosa 4, Myles Garrett 3, T.J. Watt 2, Micah Parsons at 1. Man, I do not know. I want to say Micah Parsons because he's so good and he's progressing so fast that I don't know if there's any other option. I mean, out of these six, yeah, no, 7. Sauce Gardner out of the tied for 5, definitely. I don't think TJ Watt gets there. I think the defense is going to be very close together and equal. Myles Garrett, I could see it. Nick Bosa, of course, you can see it. Now, I'm going to just go with the safest option again. For me, Micah Parsons winning DPOI. See, the thing about these is hard. It's because I'm not doing backup for like if he gets injured or nothing. So I'm just Micah Parsons, I guess. All right. So offensive rookie of the year. You never know. I don't know. Jahmyr Gibbs tied for 4 with Zay Flowers. Now check this out. The Lions, they have David Montgomery also. I don't really know if Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get as many touches as people think. I don't know. So I'm going to pass on Jahmyr Gibbs for now. Zay Flowers. Nah, I don't see it. I could see Zay Flowers is on Ravens, right? I think so. I don't know. I think OBJ and Mark Andrews is gonna be on that team, which I hope, because again, Mark Andrews is on my fantasy team, on both of them actually too. Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson that tied for 2. Out of those 2, I think Anthony Richardson has the best setup with Michael Pittman Jr. and hopefully Jonathan Taylor will be playing there. I really hope so. I really, really hope so. I would say Anthony Richardson. But of course, the number one option for the Falcons, coming right off of a draft, Bijan Robinson will win Offensive Rookie of the Year if he does not get injured. So I'm going to go with Bijan Robinson because Anthony Richardson has been running the ball a lot. He's a great running quarterback. He's a great, powerful, running, moving quarterback. And he could get injured pretty easily with him not being in that big stage before. I think he'll be fine, but there's always the thing about rookies, and they tend to get injured and tear their ACL or break a leg or something. It's just you just gotta hope for the best, really. So let's see. So I'm gonna go Bijan Robinson right here. I'm gonna go Bijan Robinson to win Rookie of the Year if he does not get injured again. All right. Okay. So now we got Defensive Rookie of the Year. And at number 6, we have 4 tied. We have Devon Witherspoon, who went to the Seahawks. Nolan Smith went to the Eagles. I don't know those 2. Joey Porter was the Penn State guy, I think. Went to the Steelers. Yeah. Will McDonald. He's the one that went to the Packers, right? I think. Brian Branch, I think, was cornerback. I don't remember where he went to. And then the top 2 obvious answers are number 2, Will Anderson Jr., or number 1, Jalen Carter. I don't know, man. It's only off by 1. It's only off by 1. Jalen Carter, man, I just don't know. That Eagles defense and that Eagles team is so good that he might not get high. It's not that he might not do worse than Will Anderson. I just don't know if he'll get as highlighted because the Eagles might go to the Super Bowl, or the Eagles might win or go to the NFC Championship. Eagles might go undefeated. But I don't feel like Jalen Carter will be as recognized for that when Will Anderson is on one of the worst teams in the league. So, because of that, I take as my defensive rookie of the year Will Anderson Jr. Okay, this one's kind of an easy one because think about it. Tua, maybe. Whoever that is. Breece Hall. I love Breece Hall. His game is so cool and so efficient. He runs like an eagle. Okay. Let's forget I said that. Odell Beckham, maybe. Maybe. Lamar Jackson, Calvin Ridley, I think so. The thing is like, it's not that he had been bad or injured. It's because he gambled, and I'm not gambling for him to win. The obvious answer here is Damar Hamlin. I'm gonna be honest with you. If Damar Hamlin plays a single minute, actually, hang on. If they put him in for one snap of the first game of the year, Damar Hamlin will win Comeback Player of the Year. It don't matter what happens, as long as Damar Hamlin plays at least 1 millisecond of a game, he wins Comeback Player of the Year. Because there's no beating what Damar Hamlin has done. And it's very, very, I don't know what to say other than bittersweet, I guess, that Damar Hamlin is coming back. Because there's been a lot of news that he's going to be there for week 1. Damar Hamlin, wish you the best. I'll see you at the NFL Honors Awards. Alright, here's the hardest award to do. Coach of the Year. I don't know. I don't really know coaches, but I'll tell you one thing. Robert Saleh will not win. People are hyping up that Jets team so high that it's not even funny. Do you remember how the Jets finished 7-10 last year? I think, or maybe 6-11. I don't know. They're gonna be good, but they're not gonna be Super Bowl MVP, OPOY winners. I don't see it. I don't see it. I promise you, I do not see it. Man. Alright, check this out. I'm a Bears fan. My dad's a Lions fan. So, and he's like in love with Dan Campbell. Crazy. It's crazy. But the obvious answer here is Matt Eberflus. Alright, just kidding. Out of all of these answers, and there's so many to choose from, Kyle Shanahan, D'Amico Ryans, no. D'Amico Ryans, Sean Payton, Matt Eberflus, which I don't know. Matt Eberflus could be a lot better than a lot of people think, especially leading that 3-14 Bears team to a 7-9 win team. That's crazy, which I do see. Mike McDaniel, Doug Peterson, Matt LaFleur, Mike Tomlin, Robert Saleh. But my pick for Coach of the Year is Dan Campbell from the Detroit Lions because of what he did at the end of the season and what he might do this season. Dan Campbell, Coach of the Year. Alright, so we're back and we got our NFL 2023 to 2024 predictions. We have already done the NFL Honors predictions. So here is the record predictions. First of all, we have the Arizona Cardinals. They say they will go 3-14. I said they will go 4-13. I say they probably will tank and all that stuff, but I say they get one more win. Okay, so next up is the Atlanta Falcons. I have them at 7-10. CBS has them at 10-7. I could honestly see either one depending on how good Desmond Ritter does. Because they got Behan, they got Drake London, they have an alright defense. I think it all depends on Behan Robinson, Drake London, and Desmond Ritter. If they can do good, this will be a pretty nice team. Not playoffs, though. Okay, moving on to the Baltimore Ravens. Right now, I have them at 10-7, while CBS has them at 12-5. I think it all depends on if Lamar Jackson can perform $265 million worth. He has OBJ, Zay Flowers, right? Mark Andrews, a nice offensive line, a nice defense. Everything that's left is him performing as good as he's worth. 10-7 for me. Okay, next up, the Buffalo Bills. Now, this one's interesting because I've seen a lot of different opinions. I have them at 12-5, and CBS also has them at 12-5. So, I think that'll be a good option for them. They have Diggs, Allen, Gabe Davis is really underrated. Then they got a pretty good tight end room, a pretty good offensive line, an amazing defense. There's no way that they should not be top five or top three really in the playoffs this year. 12-5 for me. Okay, next up is the Carolina Panthers. Now, very odd team because they had a 7-10 year, which was all right, but they added Bryce Young to their team, and he could take them to the next level. But I see them staying exactly where they are at 7-10, and then the next year Bryce Young will take them farther than that. 7-10 for me. Okay, next up is the Cincinnati Bengals. Now the Bengals last year, at my prediction, I did not think the Bengals would do well. I thought that they would be a one-hit wonder after their Super Bowl. I thought Joe Burrow would be a bust. They proved me wrong. They did. So they have them at a 13-4, and I have them at an 11-6. I think they're gonna do great, but I don't think that they'll do as high as people think they were. They will probably get very close to the Super Bowl, if not in the Super Bowl. 11-6 for me. Okay, the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are very odd because Deshaun Watson was out for a lot last year, but they still have guys like Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb, Myles Garrett. Their team is really good. I have them at a 7-10, and so does CBS. So we're gonna go with the 7-10 for them. Okay, next up is the Dallas Cowboys, and they have them at a 10-7, which is respectable, especially in that division with the Giants, the Eagles, and the Commanders. Which the Commanders aren't much of a threat right now, but I have them at 11-6 right now. If Dak can perform correctly without throwing 30 interceptions, they'll be all right. They'll be all right. Tony Pollard looks like a beast. Their wide receiver core is crazy. Um, I think they got a new tight end. I'm pretty sure in the draft. Defense, crazy, dude. The Cowboys have so much potential, but let's just hope that Dak doesn't waste it with his interceptions. All right, the Denver Broncos. Man, I have them currently at a 7-10. I think they'll be a lot better than last year. but not 9 and 8 like CVS says. So I think a 7 and 10 is respectable. Russell Wilson and Sean Payton working together will be really nice. Um, the division's tough for sure, but I think a 7 and 10 is respectable for the evolving Jerry Jeudy and that defense and Russell Wilson with Sean Payton now. So 7 and 10 for me. Okay, on to the Houston Texans. I have them at an 11 and 6. CJ Stroud will be fine. Will Anderson, I think, will progress a lot this year and help them get a lot farther than they would have without him. The team isn't great for sure, but I think that they'll be fine. They'll be fine. They'll be better than last year, definitely. So I'm gonna say 6 and 11 for them. All right, the Indianapolis Colts. Now this one's odd. They have them at 4 and 13, which is kind of steep. I have them at a 7 and 10. I think Anthony Richardson will be amazing. If Jonathan Taylor plays, they'll probably be higher. They got Michael Pittman, which is still pretty good. Their defense is alright. Their offensive line is alright. They're gonna be fine if Jonathan Taylor can play. If he can, they'll be better. They'll be a lot better. 7 and 10 for me. The Jacksonville Jaguars. I have them at a 10 and 7. I think they'll be fine, about right where they were last year. Maybe second round of the playoffs. They say 11 and 6. I think 10 and 7 is fine. Uh, Trevor Lawrence is getting better. Their whole offense got a good bit better. They got Calvin Ridley now. Evan Ingram was there. Yeah, he was pretty nice last season. I think a 10 and 7 is pretty respectable for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alright, the Kansas City Chiefs. Me and CBS say the same thing here at 14 and 3. It's just going to be the same Chiefs as every other year. Probably back to the Super Bowl, sadly. Ready to see something new. Um, just going to be a Kelsey and Mahomes show like normally. So 14 and 3 for the Chiefs. Nothing else special to say. All right, the Las Vegas Raiders. They have them at a 7 and 10. I have them at an 8 and 9 because think Jimmy Garoppolo is all right. He's fine. He's not crazy or nothing. But Josh Jacobs, a league-winning running back in fantasy, and Devontae Adams. They got Max Crosby, Chandler Jones. The team's good. Let's just hope Jimmy Garoppolo don't hold him back. 8 and 9 for me. Alright, interesting. The Los Angeles Rams. They have them at 9 and 8. I have them at 6 and 11. I think they'll be as good, if not a little bit better than last season. But if Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp can all stay healthy, and maybe if Cam Akers can finally get past that kind of rock that he's under, if they can get better, they'll be better than my prediction, but I just can't trust it. 6 and 11 for me. Okay, the Los Angeles Chargers. They have them at 8 and 9. I have them at 9 and 8. Actually, sorry, 11 and 6. I changed my mind. They're gonna do good. Justin Herbert's gonna have a good year. Their running back, Austin Eckler's great. Their wide receiver core, Quentin Johnston, right? Johnson or Johnston. Who's new? He's a rookie from TCU. Those national championship TCU team. Then they got Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. Their defense is amazing. Honestly, Gerald Everett is a lot more underrated than most tight ends. I think they'll be a good 11-6 for me. Miami Dolphins. This one's interesting. To me, it's all about if Tua stays healthy. If Tua can stay healthy, they'll be fine. They will be fine. Right now, I have them at 9-8. They have them at 8-9. Tua has been doing protocols and that kind of stuff. I think he will be fine, but if he's not, that whole team gets ruined. So let's keep hoping for Tua to be fine this year. 9-8 for me. All right, Minnesota Vikings. I have them at 11-6. They have them at 8-9. I understand it, but their defense is horrid. Horrible. I promise you, it's horrible. Their best player is Harrison Smith, which is probably going to retire in a few years from now. I think they'll be fine. Justin Jefferson and Kirky will carry. Big Kirko, as they call him now. The new receiver they drafted, I want to say Zay Flowers, but I think he might have been to the Ravens. I don't really know. I think they'll be all right. Their defense is going to hold them back a lot, and they might get less wins because of it. But 11-6 will be fine for me. The New England Patriots. I'm seeing a lot of hype about the New England Patriots. Here's the thing. Their division is tough. And they're not that good. They're not really that good. I mean, who's their best player? There's Judon, Smith-Schuster, and Stevenson. Those guys are alright, but there's like no one else. Mac Jones is overrated like crazy. I don't see him doing much. They dropped Bailey Zappi, so I say 6-11 for the Patriots. Nothing special. Okay, the New Orleans Saints. They have them at 7-10, which is kind of steep. I have them at 9-8. They're gonna be winning their division, obviously, with Derek Carr there now. Their team's good. They got Olave. They got Ingram. No, not Ingram. Williams and Kamara. Michael Thomas might be healthy. Let's hope. It's been so long. It's been like 3 years. 9-8. They'll win their division. Okay, the New York Giants. They have them at 9-8, and so do I. I think they'll be around that mid-range team like they were last year, close to the playoffs, if not in the playoffs. Daniel Jones, he might be all right. Let's hope. Let's hope he's all right. Saquon Barkley's amazing. I feel like they'll be fine. I don't really have much doubt for the Giants to be bad as much as I do for other teams. 9-8 for me. Okay, the New York Jets. They have them at 10-7, which is kind of crazy to me. I think they have an alright year. Maybe 9-8, 8-9. I'm gonna go with 9-8. I think the Aaron Rodgers bandwagon's kind of heavy. I don't think they do as good as they think. Like a Super Bowl team, some say. They're not. They are not a Super Bowl team. They're young, and I feel like Aaron Rodgers is just gonna use the Packer players that he brought along with him rather than the young rookies. Hopefully not though. I'm a big fan of Brees Hall and Sauce Gardner. So 9-8 for me. Alright, the Philadelphia Eagles, they have them at 10-7, which is crazy. They're going 13-4, same year as last, winning their division, nothing special, close to the Super Bowl, if not in it. 13-4 for me. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers. They have a 9-8. I have them at 7-10. They'll be good. not great. Nothing really special. Kenny Pickett evolving, their defense evolving. Their defense will be great. They'll be close, but they won't be in the playoffs. All right, 49ers, they have them at 12-5. I have them at 11-6. I think they'll take a small step down from last year. I think Brock Purdy has a lot to work on. He seemed great, but I think he could be a one-hit wonder. He could not. Let's just hope that it's not, for the sake of the 49ers and for him to have a good career. 11-6 for me. All right, the Seahawks, they have them at 9-8, and so do I. I think they'll be fine, about the same as last year. Geno Smith will be all right. The receiving core is there, the defense is there. They'll be 9-8, nothing special. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 5-12. They'll be terrible. Don't even worry about it. Tennessee Titans. Now this one's odd because the Titans suck. Besides Derrick Henry, I have them at 5-12. Honestly, I don't think they'll be that good. It really depends on if Derrick Henry can be great or if he can be old. 5-12 for me. All right, lastly, but very last, Washington Commanders, 6-11. They're not gonna be good. They're gonna lose to the Bears in prime time, which is obvious because the Bears are amazing. 6-11. Okay, let's go back to the other NFC North teams that I skipped over on purpose. Green Bay Packers, 6-11. They're not gonna be good. I promise. They're not gonna be good. Jordan Love is overrated as crap. They say 7 out of 10 guys say that they're going to beat the Bears week 1 on America's Game of the Week. They will not. It's going to be a blowout. The Bears are going to win. It's going to be obvious. 6-11 for the Packers. Jordan Love, terrible year. All right, next is the Detroit Lions. 10-7. I say that, and CBS says that. So, I think they'll be fine. They'll be a playoff team. They'll lose in the first round. Nothing special, nothing new. Same old Lions, but a little bit better. All right, last and definitely not least, the Chicago Bears, my team. All right, I'm a Bears fan. All right, I have them at 9-8. They have them at 6-11. That's a little disrespectful, but I can see what they're coming from. 3-14 last year, the worst team in the league, the number 1 overall pick. I don't know. I think they're gonna be great, honestly. Justin Fields, his passing is getting a lot better, and it was good. It's just he couldn't get the ball off before he was getting sacked, so he just had to run around like a lunatic, which still worked. It's not like our offense was terrible, it's just our defense was even worse, which we improved on. Everything is improved. 9-8, close to the playoffs, if not in the playoffs. Alright, so that was my predictions. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Comment if you disagree, or if you just tell me I'm terrible at predicting, or just say whatever. See you all in the next time.